book, Trade Mindfully, Achieve Your Optimum Trading Performance with Mindfulness and Cutting-Edge Psychology. Author Gary Dayton. Part 1, Introduction. Have you ever found yourself in this situation? You enter a trade because the chart looks perfect, the setup is flawless, volume is confirming, everything seems to line up exactly how it should. You place the order thinking, this one's a sure winner. But then the market flips, the price reverses. Suddenly, your mind starts racing. You stare at every candle, your hands start to sweat, and then out of fear, you close the trade early, only to watch price go exactly where you predicted, right after you're out. Sound familiar? You're not alone. It's not that you're a bad trader. It's not that your system is broken. The problem isn't out there. It's in here, inside your mind. That's exactly why I want to introduce you to this book, Trade Mindfully by Gary Dayton. It's not a book about candlestick patterns or indicators or some kind of secret formula. This book is about you, about how your mind works when you trade. Dr. Gary Dayton isn't just a trader. He's also a clinical psychologist, with years of experience helping people understand how their minds operate under stress. And after working with hundreds of traders, from beginners to professionals, he discovered something most people don't want to admit. It's not the market. It's not the strategy. What really blocks us from being consistent are our emotions, our automatic thoughts, and our unconscious reactions. This book isn't here to entertain you. It's a manual for emotional mastery through mindfulness. And no, I don't mean meditation for peace and quiet. I mean practical mental tools that help you stay centered when the market gets wild, keep your cool when you're in a drawdown, and stick to your system even when your brain is screaming otherwise. In this full-length video, I'm not just going to summarize the book. I'm going to walk with you through its most powerful lessons, real trading examples, and practical steps you can take to start building the mindset of a peak performance trader. If you've ever lost money because of your own psychology, then this is a video you don't want to miss. Part 2. The real problem isn't the chart. Most of us begin our trading journey with one very common belief. If I can just learn enough patterns, if I memorize the indicators, if I build a solid system, then I'll be successful. So we binge YouTube, we buy courses, we backtest for hours, and eventually maybe we even land on a decent strategy. But the results? Still inconsistent. Some days we're sharp and focused, other days we're acting like someone else entirely. Why? Because the problem isn't the chart. The real problem is the person looking at it. Gary Dayton puts it simply, the market isn't flawed, your strategy isn't flawed. But your mind? That's where the real issues are. Every time we trade, we carry with us a suitcase full of emotion and survival instincts. Price drops, we panic and cut the trade too early. Price surges, we fear missing out and chase it at the top. Take a loss, we feel the need to get it back. We revenge trade, and sometimes we blow the account. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. Our brains were designed for survival, not for trading. In the wild, when we sense danger, we run. But in trading, the market throws false alarms at us constantly. And if we react to every one, we never give our edge a chance to work. Markets and human psychology are wired to move in opposite directions. And if you don't understand that, you'll fall into the same trap over and over again, blaming your system instead of looking inward. One of my favorite questions from the book is this. If you use the exact same strategy but win one day and lose the next, are you sure the problem is with the system? Maybe not. Maybe today you were calm and patient, but yesterday you were stressed out, overthinking, second-guessing everything. So what's the real issue? It's not your strategy. It's not the market. It's you, your internal state, the mindset you bring to the moment you place the trade. Trade Mindfully doesn't promise a shortcut to riches. What it gives you is a mirror. And if you're willing to look, it'll show you exactly where the real work needs to begin. In the next section, we'll dive even deeper. How exactly does your mind behave during a trade? And why does it keep leading you astray again and again? Part 3. How the mind works when you trade. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I keep repeating the same trading mistakes even when I know better? If you have, this part is going to open your eyes. Gary Dayton explains that the mind doesn't just think, it performs. And the scary part is, it performs so well that we believe everything it tells us. We mistake the performance for reality. In the book, Gary introduces the concept of automatic thoughts. These are the fast, unconscious beliefs that show up when we're under pressure in the market. Thoughts like, I have to win this trade. If I stop out again, I'm doomed. The market is out to get me. I'm not as good as other traders. These thoughts feel incredibly real, but they're not facts. They're stories your brain tells you. Stories shaped by fear and past experience. One example from the book really stood out to me. A trader has a solid system. His performance is consistent, but after a few losses in a row, he starts doubting himself. He thinks, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should just quit. So he pulls his funds and walks away, only to watch the market move exactly as he predicted. Sound familiar? That could be your story, or mine, or almost any trader out there. Gary calls this cognitive fusion. It's when we get so tangled up in our thoughts that we believe they are true. You don't think I'm feeling anxious, you believe this trade is definitely going to lose. That distinction is critical. Because once you realize a thought is just a thought, not a command, you can start to observe it without letting it run the show. Your mind is like a radio, playing in the background. You don't have to listen to every station. You can step back, you can observe, you don't have to react. That is the heart of mindful trading. Watch the mind, but don't let the mind run the trade. And when you develop that skill, you gain what Gary calls the psychological edge, a rare advantage that most traders never even get close to. Coming up next, we'll dive into a few big questions. How can you train your mind to think this way? What exactly is mindfulness, and does it actually work in trading? Most importantly, where do you begin if you want to build emotional control that lasts? Part 4. Mindfulness isn't just sitting cross-legged. When you hear the word mindfulness, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture someone sitting cross-legged, eyes closed, in a quiet room filled with incense. But if that's your image, you might be missing the point. According to Gary Dayton, mindfulness isn't some kind of spiritual ritual. It's not a trendy wellness hack. In trading, it's a survival skill. Mindfulness means being able to notice your thoughts, your emotions, and the sensations in your body as they happen. It means not falling into the same old reaction loops. And it means not judging what you notice as good or bad. Let me give you a picture. You're in a buy trade. Suddenly the price drops hard. Your mind goes into panic mode. Get out now. If this hits your stop, you're finished. You should have sold instead. That was so stupid. You need to make it back. Double your position. Right now. That's what an unmindful state looks like. You hear those thoughts and you act on them immediately. But with mindfulness, you do something different. You recognize that anxiety is rising. You pause. You take a breath. You observe the emotion without clinging to it. And you make a decision based on your plan, not based on your panic. Mindfulness is about seeing clearly without reacting immediately. Gary teaches that we can't control our thoughts, but we can change our relationship with them. That's a game changer. He outlines a few simple exercises in the book that help you develop this skill. Here's the first one. A 5-minute daily mindfulness practice. Just sit still and focus on your breath. When your mind drifts, and it will, gently label what's happening, thinking, worrying, planning. Then return to your breath and repeat. Now, here's how mindfulness works during an actual trading session. Before you enter a trade, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? While the trade is running, notice your emotions. Is there fear? Is there excitement? Just acknowledge them. Don't react. After the trade is done, write a short journal entry. But instead of focusing only on your technical decisions, write about your mindset. What thoughts were present? What triggered your actions? And here's the good news. You don't need to meditate for an hour to benefit from this. Just 5 minutes a day, done consistently, can lay a strong mental foundation for clarity and discipline. One of Gary's best metaphors is this. The market is like the ocean. You can't control the waves, but if you learn to balance, you can ride them without being crushed. That's what mindfulness gives you as a trader. Calm in the chaos, discipline in the noise. In the next section, we'll talk about how to spot your most destructive thought patterns, and more importantly, how to replace them with beliefs that actually support your success. Part 5. Identifying and replacing faulty thinking. Have you ever wondered why you know exactly what you should do in a trade, but still don't do it? You know you shouldn't move your stop loss, but you move it anyway. You know you should let the trade run, but you take profits too early. You know revenge trading is dangerous, but you still do it. It's not because you lack discipline. It's not because you don't know better. It's because you're running on automatic thought patterns, and most of the time, you don't even realize it. Gary Dayton calls these faulty mental scripts. Think of them like background music playing in your mind. They're running in every decision, every trade. And most of us, we're completely unaware. Here are a few you might recognize. I have to win this trade to prove I'm good. If I lose this one, I'm a failure. I need to make back what I lost, no matter what. I'm not as skilled as other traders. They may sound harmless, but these scripts influence your behavior more than any trading system ever will. Luckily, Gary offers a simple but powerful process for spotting and replacing them. Step 1. Write it down. Right in the moment. After each trade or during a stressful market move, pause and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? What emotions am I feeling? Am I judging myself? Step 2. Ask, is this actually true? For example, thoughts like, I'm a terrible trader, is that a fact or just a reaction to a losing trade? Gary teaches us something important. Just because a thought feels strong doesn't mean it's true. Step 3. Separate yourself from the thought. Don't say I'm a bad trader. Say, I'm having the thought that I'm a bad trader. That small shift is everything. The first is a label. The second is awareness. Now you're observing the thought instead of being ruled by it. Step 4. Replace the script with something constructive. No need for cheesy affirmations like, I'm the best trader in the world. Instead, try this. I lost this trade, but I'm still learning. I don't need to win every trade. I need to stick to my system. Emotions are natural. I can notice them without reacting. This isn't therapy. This is survival training for serious traders. Because in the end, it's not how many trades you win that defines your success. It's how you talk to yourself when the pressure is on. Gary puts it beautifully. Trading is an exercise in self-awareness. The best traders aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the ones who understand their own minds the best. Up next, we'll move into a new phase. How do you build a long-term path to mastering trading psychology? Part 6. Building a professional trader's mindset. Do you have a plan to develop your trading skills? Maybe you've got a plan for technical analysis, or backtesting, or studying market structure. But here's the question. Do you have a plan to train your mind? Most traders don't, and that's why, even after months or even years of hard work, they still fall into the same mental traps, even with a better system. In the book Trade Mindfully, Gary Dayton makes one thing very clear. Success doesn't come from the perfect system. It comes from the person running that system, with self-awareness and mental clarity. In other words, psychology isn't optional. It's essential. Gary offers a 4-level framework for developing what he calls the psychological edge. And this is a roadmap every serious trader should follow. Level 1 is awareness. You start by noticing your emotional state in real time. You recognize your recurring thought patterns, especially the negative ones. And you track those patterns by keeping a mental journal after each trading session. Here's a simple habit. Before placing any trade, ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Am I holding any unrealistic expectations? Level 2 is emotional regulation. You learn how to sit with discomfort without reacting to it. You practice breathing exercises or take 5 minutes of quiet time in the morning to center your mind. And after a loss, instead of rushing into another trade, you step back and return to your system. Here's a helpful habit. Set a personal timeout rule. If emotions are running hot, walk away for 15 minutes before doing anything. Level 3 is cognitive reframing. This is where you start rewriting the mental stories that define how you trade. Beliefs like, losing is part of the game, or every trade is just data, not a reflection of my self-worth. Here's a great habit. At the end of each trading day, write down 3 positive, grounded thoughts. Doesn't matter if you won or lost, do it anyway. Level 4 is committed action. This means you follow your trading plan no matter what your emotions are saying. You track your behavior over time, and you build personal rules and stick to them with discipline. Make it a habit to review your journal every weekend. Look for moments where you drifted from your plan. That's where your growth lives. Gary calls this four-part process the psychological edge, and it's one of the most powerful tools a trader can build, more powerful than any indicator, system, or setup. One of the best quotes in the book is this: "You can't control the outcome of any single trade, but you can control how you respond. And that is where your real power lies." Coming up next, we'll take all this and make it even more practical. How do you actually apply these ideas in your day-to-day trading routine? You don't have to do everything at once. Start with just a few small, consistent actions and build from there. Part 7. Practical Steps. How to apply this book in your trading. So how do you actually live out what you've learned? Reading a book is easy. Understanding the ideas? Not that hard either. But turning those ideas into daily trading habits? That's the real challenge. Gary Dayton doesn't leave you guessing. He lays out small, simple, and highly practical actions you can start doing today. These are steps that bring noticeable changes in just a few weeks. Here are 3 core practices from the book that are both easy to adopt and deeply impactful. Number 1, daily mindfulness meditation. Just 5 minutes a day. You don't need to sit cross-legged or find a perfectly silent space. Simply sit upright. Close your eyes gently. Focus on your breath, the feeling of air going in and out. And when your mind drifts, which it will, just notice it and come back to the breath. The goal isn't to empty your mind. The goal is to train the skill of noticing and returning, and that is exactly the skill you need when the market starts pulling at your emotions. Number 2, post-trade emotional journaling. Most of us already keep a trading journal for reviewing strategies, but Gary suggests adding a deeper layer. After each trade, ask yourself, what did I feel before, during, and after this trade? Did I follow my system or react emotionally? Did I notice any automatic thoughts at play? It only takes 5 to 10 lines, but over time, you'll start to spot patterns in your trading mindset. Number 3, observe instead of react. This is how you apply mindfulness in real time. When the market is moving fast or you're holding a losing position, don't react immediately. Pause. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. Then ask, is this emotion trying to hijack me? And finally, decide, will I act based on my trading plan or based on how I feel? That short pause, just a few seconds, can save you from a whole chain of poor decisions. Gary says it best. Change doesn't come from massive effort. It comes from repeating small, correct actions every single day. You don't need to do everything at once. Just pick one habit, commit to it for a week, then add the next. Here's a sample 7-day plan. Days 1 to 3, meditate 5 minutes each morning. Days 4 and 5, add emotional journaling after your trades. Days 6 and 7, practice pausing and observing your feelings before placing any trade. After just 1 week, you won't just see the market differently. You'll feel something shift inside yourself. Up next, we'll wrap it all up. I'll highlight the biggest takeaways and show you what comes next, especially if you're serious about mastering your trading mindset. Part 8, Conclusion and Next Steps. Here's a truth that few people like to hear, but every experienced trader knows it deep down. The biggest enemy in trading isn't price volatility, it's not the news, and it's not your system. It's your own mind. Trade Mindfully isn't just another trading psychology book, it's a mental training manual for serious traders. No promises of fast money, no magic formulas, just practical, grounded exercises that, if practiced consistently, will change how you see the market and how you see yourself. Here are 3 things that hit home for me after reading this book. 1. Psychology isn't optional, it's essential. 2. Mindfulness isn't just philosophy, it's a tactical skill. And 3. Great traders don't necessarily react better, they react less. I'm not saying this book will make you win every trade, but if you apply what Gary Dayton teaches, you'll probably lose less, make fewer mistakes, and gain more control over your decisions. And if you stay consistent, you'll stop being a victim of the market and start becoming the driver of your own behavior. If you're serious about improving your mindset and performance as a trader, you owe it to yourself to read this book as soon as possible. I've included a link to the original book on Amazon in the video description below. It's the full edition, directly from the source. And when you buy through that link, you're also supporting Investory Hub, so we can keep creating more high-quality content like this. Click the description and grab your copy today. And as always, If you found this video valuable, like the video to show your support, leave a comment with your thoughts, or suggest the next book I should review. And don't forget to subscribe to Investory Hub so you never miss the next deep dive review, powerful tools and mindset strategies for smart traders. In upcoming videos, I'll be covering a head-to-head comparison of Trade Mindfully and Trading in the Zone, how to build a powerful trading psychology journal, and 5 simple mindfulness habits for traders with a busy lifestyle. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Wishing you focus, discipline, and clarity in every trade. See you in the next video, right here on Investory Hub.